let's go ahead and get going. This segment we're going to do induction cooktop. So we're going to do some shrimp, blackened shrimp, so we've got some seared, blackened scallops, seared shrimp, and then the pan with the shrimp. We could do it both. We'll basically make a little white wine and roasted tomato garlic sauce. Something very easy you guys can work on, but for now, let's get us going. The cooktop will default to lock when you're done, or you can lock it yourself. So just to get started, we need to touch and hold the lock button for a full 5 seconds. So you can count to yourself 1001, 1002, or you can hear it beep when it unlocks. So there we go. So one thing that is helpful is make sure your hands are clean. I find that if my hands get really greasy and oily when I'm trying to use any controls, that can be a hindrance. So keep it cleaned up. And some of the benefits of using this are really clean up and just cleanability, and we'll get into that a little bit more. But for now, let's go ahead and actually I'll move this out of the way. Let's turn one burner on, let's turn this other one, so we're going to use these two eyes, okay? So let's turn him on. I'm going to run him up to high, but right now I'm just going to run it back down there. Can you guys see that? So I can just slide my finger, or I can touch wherever I want it to go. But let's go medium heat, because we're going to sear, and we're going to use grapeseed oil, which is going to take a lot of heat. If you saw the earlier videos that we did for the griddle and the charbroiler, where we use our gas burners and different oils, we got into that. Grapeseed oil is a good oil to use because it withstands about 500 degrees before it starts smoking. So if you're cooking in your pan, you put grapeseed oil in there and it smokes, you're way too hot. So back that heat down just a little bit. So let's go over here, same thing. We're gonna do the shrimp in this pan. So let's run that temperature up, and it's flashing. You can see the control here. It's flashing because it's looking for a pan, okay guys? If you've got a pan that will not conduct magnetic energy, it will continue to flash, but we should be good here. So you see that the control quit flashing. It's solid now for both of these. So let's just run them both up to high, and we'll just do this just to get started quickly. But I want to point out a couple of things. If you want your pan to heat a little more evenly, let it heat up for 3 or 4 minutes. Kind of like when you turn your ventilation on. Turn the ventilation on, get your pans on, have them on about medium, maybe a third power heat. That way they'll heat up really quickly and the heat will spread out to the pans a little better. So if we're using this pan, like this burner will work, or this pan will work on that burner. You can see that right there. If we have some overhang, that's fine as well. But we got to cover the pan has to cover about 60% of your burner area for it to work effectively. Understood, guys? So let's go here. I'm on a smaller burner with that one, a smaller one here. And then when you turn it on, you can also feel where you can feel the magnetic pulse or the vibration in your hand. And that's just the magnetic frequency that is getting transmitted to the pan. And that's actually what conducts the heat. It starts moving the molecules of the pan around, and it makes the pan hot, okay? So when we take it off, it's like we're hot here. We've got some residual heat from the heat reflecting off the pan, but if this is gas or electric, we definitely would not be doing that. So let's get going. So that's pretty hot already. Let's start with our grapeseed oil. We'll get going with the scallops. How's that? That's pretty warm, isn't it? I told you if it smokes, I'm gonna back down just a little bit. We'll put some over here for our shrimp. And remember, we need enough oil to transfer the heat, right? You gotta get heat from the pan to the food. So let's start with these scallops. One thing with scallops is they don't have to cook fully. All right, we can get them, we want them really medium rare. We don't want them any hotter than that. Get a little more oil over here. And to prep these, I took a paper towel, blotted both sides so they're dry, and then I gently dipped them in my seasoning, all right? And you can hear a lot of the sizzle. I'll stop talking so you guys can hear it. But there's this sizzle going on, and this is a good thing. So if we're putting food into a pan or on a griddle or grill, any kind of direct contact surface, we need to stop, get the food off the surface if you don't hear a sizzle or some kind of activity going on there, okay? So let's go over here now, put a little more oil in there. And you can finish this with butter if you wanted to, or just eat it as is. So I've got my nice gold shrimp. Let's just go ahead, I just seasoned one side of these, but let's put them all in there. You got a nice sizzle going on there. And a lot of times, people will just dump them in the pan or dump them on a griddle. You can do that if you want to. You're gonna have to handle them much more. But if you get them all nice and lined up, you don't want to do this, skewer them, put them on skewers, make little brochettes out of them. But this works really well, and we'll get a nice beautiful color on both sides of that. So we'll let that just work. Okay, good benefits about induction cooktops. We can use this to our benefit. We've got an instant transfer of heat to the pan, cutting back our cooking time. We've got instant control just like we would if we're using a gas burner. There's no lag time, maybe a second, literally. So we've got really no lag time on that. My cleanup on this surface, I got splatter and everything, I just pick my pan up, or if I've got a boil over, I can just go right over here, wipe up, and then go back and do my final cleaning after we're finished. So you can hear a lot of good stuff going on here. Another good thing on this is that these front two burners on this particular cooktop are, they have a boost function. So I go to high, and then I can hit boost on both of these. And what this is going to do, it's going to rob power from these adjacent burners. So it's going to make this now about a 2200 watt power burner. So it's going to really cook fast. It'll stay on for about a minute, minute and a half, and then it'll shut back down. But if you want to bring something to a boil or do a quick sear, that's the way to go. But I'm going to turn my heat down just a little bit. I'm on about 3/4 power there. I don't want to burn anything. So the shrimp, excuse me, the scallops, those guys, they can be eaten raw if we really want to, or we can make, you know, we just eat a medium rare. It's not a problem. It's like oysters or clams, stuff like that. But the shrimp, they've got to be fully cooked, okay? So being that they have to be fully cooked, we're going to take a little more time to finesse on them. And we only want the shrimp to be opaque in the center. The scallops, not so much. We want pink. So let's go ahead and let's see if we can flip our scallops. We can. See that nice sear we developed on there? Isn't that gorgeous? To me, that's just flavor. Huge amount of flavor. So we're just gonna let that work. And you can see, can you get in there? You can see how it's just a little pink in the center. That's all we're looking for. Now the shrimp, let's look at them. Oh, my pan here. Can you see right in the middle, this white? This is our indicator to go ahead and flip this guy. I know it looks more exciting to do a bunch of sauteing and flipping. That's cool. That makes you happy. Toss it the sauce at the end if you really want to. But for now, let's go ahead and just flip them one by one, just so they look really good. All right. Get there. And I'll tell you, just like I told the other groups, if you guys need to reach out to me afterwards, you can email me at george.loudon@subzero.com. So that says george.laudun@subzero.com. You email me, please include your phone number so I can call you back. It's easier to talk to you about a lot of cooking face-to-face or voice-to-voice versus trying to email a lot to you, okay? And if you want to call me at 404-386-3052, okay? So if you email me, include your phone number so I can call you back, or you can reach out to me calling me or texting, but email is the best. That way I can get back to you when I'm not cooking or doing an event or something. Okay, guys? Now, scallops are done. Let's get them off. See that pink band that I was telling you guys about? Right here. It's hot in the center, like a medium rare steak. That's all we really want to do. All that good stuff right there. Now, we have this in the pan, which we call fawn. Our shrimp, same thing. They're done as well. Can you see this, guys? See how they're opaque in the center? That's as far as we need to go. Your boiling shrimp is the same type of deal. We want them firm. I've had some people reach out to me and say, "Oh, the setting on such oven is not working. My shrimp is not cooked." I said, "Well, how do you like shrimp cooked?" So like it tender. Well, if you're cooking to where it's tender and soft, you've overcooked it, or it's been frozen and then handled poorly or processed poorly. So just some things to think about. Chef World would like it nice and firm and perfectly done. So set this to the side for now. Let's make a quick sauce in both of these pans. Got me heat down, kind of slow and medium. But let's start with some white wine here. Now you're gonna get some splatter. What I want to do is I'm gonna add some flavor there. I'm also gonna clean up. And I'll put all that in there. Let's finish them off. I can take a spoon. See this? I'm gonna lift all this out the bottom of this pan. It's called deglazing. Okay, guys? Same over here. I'm gonna boost him. Let's put a boost. Look how fast this comes to a boil. And you'll be able, I'll show you that control we were talking about a minute ago. See how fast that's up? Now let's hit this at simmer. See how fast that drops down? So this is why induction is really fun to cook with. I can go right back up to high. I can put it on a boost. We're right back up. So my energy transfer is almost 100%. For gas, we might be around 60%. But let's just go ahead and boil these down a little bit. Over here, I've got some roasted. I'm gonna turn that heat down. These tomatoes are really splatter. I'm gonna let that one, the bigger pan for the shrimp, we're gonna let him just kind of hang out there. But I had some tomatoes that were overripe. Couldn't do anything else with them. So you can can them, but I'll usually make a marinara or a tomato sauce out of them. Let's go ahead and bring him up to a boil. And this would be a good time to wipe up. This is really messy right now. See this? Isn't this great? And when you get done cooking, this makes all the difference in the world. Go back to high, reduce that white wine. Let's look at this sauce right here. Now, when I finish this sauce with salt and pepper, one thing that's good to remember is that there's already some salt in this pan. Got it from when we cooked the scallops. Yes? So I've got tomatoes in here. They're ready. Let's hit this with just a little bit of heavy cream. Heavy whipping cream is going to work better for you guys. Just a little bit. This is going to thicken up nicely. And then we can taste that to see how it works out. Bring it to a rolling boil again. Let's hit boost, right? We got that boost. Let's not mess around. Let's get it done. From what I understand, cruise ships use a lot of induction. So they don't want fires. They're gas burners on boats. Let's drop that temperature and let's look at that sauce consistency. We're almost there. Almost there. Let's do a quick boil, quick reduction to thicken it. Over here, let's just finish him off. And that's rapid boil. And I'll drop that heat in just a second. Almost there. You guys see how it's kind of watery and breaking up? We want to get that to where it evenly coats that spoon. Simple as that. Remember, if you guys have questions, because this little demonstration is almost done. The only other cleanup I'll do is I'll clean my glass surface up with some good degreasing dish soap like Dawn, something like that. Warm water. That'll cut all the grease. Then if I have anything baked on, I'll use this handy little razor blade. I can scrape stuff right off that glass surface so it won't hurt it. Okay. Then after I get that cleaned up, if I've got these like discolorations on there, I'll go up with Barkeeper's Friend and a magic eraser or a towel, and I'll just gently wipe that out, and that'll get rid of any discolorations. And then I'll finish with that glass cleaner. If you've seen the other videos, you know we love this one. So this is a blast to use and very good. And that'll leave it streak free. And that's our cleanup on our use and care, or on our Induction cooktop. Now, that white wine is pretty much reduced down there. Let's go ahead and put that tomato in there. And we'll bring him up to a rolling boil. Let's check that other sauce that we were making earlier, because he looks really good. He's good. We got a lot of tomato, but we can see how that's adhering there. So let's taste this. Perfect. It doesn't need any salt and pepper because of that seasoning we had in the pan and when I cooked the tomatoes earlier. So that one is done. I'm going to spare you guys from watching me make this other sauce. But remember, reach out to me if you need to. george.loudon@subzero.com or 404-386-3052. So have a great day, guys, and contact us if you need any help. Bye. So let's see video.